Alright, looks like we got all that going. Let's add a couple buttons. So let's go to all the different screens. So it should go main menu, mission select. From there, it's going to go to mission leaderboard, which goes to mission history. What do we call it? Cutscene gallery. Do we have a history screen? Like, we have pre-mission, and we could see like our history of our attempts at this thing, but I don't know. It's like the mission leaderboard thing, I think, does that. So kind of what we would want here is this guy can go here, this guy can go here, this guy goes here. Let's organize this a little bit nicer. So that's the UI flow that we need. So the mission select needs to go to these three. So let's go ahead and just add those buttons in real quick. Let's make these a little bit bigger. See, text button 5s should be a little bit wider than that. Guess they're not. Hello, Karakin. I am creating all the UI screens. I'm working on missions, and I'm not really super organized today. I'm not even really on point with farming my goals nicely. I don't understand why Adam comments everything out. Just get rid of it. I mean, I do understand why he comments it out. It's what a lot of people do when they're not sure about how to do something, so they end up commenting out stuff because they want to toggle it on and off. We need to make these things wider. So how I can do that is I can put the... I think it's actually the CSS needs to be later. That's why it'll be more important. So I just need to change the width here to something like 25. And it shouldn't matter in the HTML file. Yeah, exactly. And I'm just putting together the skeleton for everything so we can actually start getting this in order. What is our height? 4? So let's just do 5 and then 10. So hopefully you're having a good day, Karakan. I am just kind of getting started on all the things. That's starting to look better. So we've got our buttons for this. Doing some problem solving. Yeah. Let's just keep taking a look at everything. It's always fun. Yeah, well, as long as the problems are fun to solve. Alright, so we're just going to put in these debug buttons for now. And what I'm finding here is that I am kind of just trying to make the whole system at once for missions, which I'm not sure is the right course of action, but we will see. Mainly because if I get all this stuff like kind of set up, it might not be all completed for the next update. So kind of if I get started on something that ends up being too much for us to do, we're pretty much might be hosed on some of it just because it's like, it's too much. You know, don't look at this, it's placeholder. But, I don't know. Sometimes it can be a lot more efficient to just try to get the whole system out the door. Cutscene gallery? What? Hello, Pixeltris. Why did you decide to use JavaScript and WebKit instead of UMG? Because UMG sucks. Basically, we tried to use UMG for stuff, and it was like real dumb. Like we couldn't get real basic shit going. So either like I just didn't click with UMG and like get over the initial this is how UMG works, or UMG is awful. Either way, we don't use UMG. We use WebKit. So we got leaderboards clicked, and it went to this guy, which says cutscene gallery. So it's the right screen, but it's I need to go through and name these things appropriately so I can actually see them. But it's a good question. I really tried for a couple days to get into UMG stuff. And I had another guy as well. We had a college kind of intern guy go try to make a UMG HUD for us and get some real basic stuff, like just get the clock in our game and do that in UMG. Just a simple thing, and get it to scale properly with the screen so that it nicely does what your UI would expect. It stays in the center and it gets bigger or larger and all that. And he ended up not being able to do it at all in like 3 weeks. And so I took a look at it, and the thing that I wanted to do is I just wanted to get a white square in the middle of the screen that was always in the middle of the screen despite the resolution changes, and have something where I could anchor off of and do stuff like that, and then get text in it that was centered, and just couldn't do it in like 2 days. So I was just like, either I am just a freaking idiot or this system, I just didn't read the right tutorial and went down a rabbit hole, or the system is just awful. Probably a combination of all three, because on previous projects, like I worked on stuff down at Molten Games in San Diego using Unreal 4, and I worked at stuff like Lumberyard and Amazon and all these other places. I worked at EA, and for a lot of those systems we ended up using WebKit for stuff as opposed to that. And like back when Slate and UMG was even being created, down at Molten, we're just like, screw it, we're using scale for them. Like, all right, start mission screen. That should be the pre-mission screen. Where is pre-mission screen? Submission leaderboard, start mission, pre-mission, cutscene gallery. Alright, that works. So that's kind of why. And the other thing is WebKit's free, right? Like it's all open source, and we can develop in Chrome, which has really good debug tools where you can, just do all the things. And WebKit and styling stuff in CSS and JavaScript and HTML is very well documented on the internet. It is the internet. It's hard to get WebKit to embed into UE4 and working correctly with input and such. Oh, absolutely, you're absolutely right. So actually what I've got going on is, like, I can use the controller to move the mouse around, and I'm using real, like I'm using my mouse here, but like we use hardware mouse to do those things. And the WebKit implementation plugin that they have, their experimental plugin in there, is pretty trash. So yeah, like the input is especially screwed for WebKit in EU4. So what you have to do in order to get all that to work properly is you have to go into because how the Chromium WebKit stuff that they've got going on, how it captures inputs, is it was actually capturing inputs and then passing off the inputs to another thread, which then consume the inputs or not, and then that thread would pass the input back to the main viewport, and then that viewport would get a chance to handle it, which meant every single click and mouse move and controller input was actually being delayed by the thread offset, so like 3 milliseconds on average, and then the entire UI tick delay, which is about 30 milliseconds, and then another thread handoff, which is like another 3 3 to 4 or 8 milliseconds. So you're looking at like a 50 millisecond just latency on your entire project if you use WebKit out of the box from Unreal. So in order to get around that, basically I had to go edit the code, and I've got all the input goes to both viewport things, to the WebKit and the main game, and so they can both handle that input at the same time. And sure, you could like click on something behind an element, but we don't use like the only actual in-game UI we've only got a few small things that are in Unreal, because everything here is WebKit. And then everything in the background is Unreal, except for stuff like the ball pointer, which is that little guy right there. So that's an actual like in-game actor with very specific material stuff, and we have to do math to put it in the right place and all that. And we're actually probably gonna switch from WebKit to probably Coherent Hummingbird at some point here in the next 3 months. Mainly because the WebKit performance is not very good. It's not a good implementation, so it's just not performing enough on high resolutions. The big issue was not the input or any of that, it was actually that the redraw is not optimized in Chromium Embedded. And on high resolutions, with the way it does software rendering, it's just trash. But it does allow us to do some really nice stuff since we have an embedded web page. This right here is just a news iframe. It's an actual site. You can go visit without that. And then we can do things like log in with Twitch and, use the web login flow that you would use in the browser with external servers, and it just works. So it's pretty nice in that respect. Okay, so mission leaderboard needs to go to mission history. Need to check on something for these guys real quick. Let's see. Alright, very good. So back to work. This guy. We've got the mission leaderboard screen. So we're going to need a button here for this. This is supposed to go to the mission history screen. Alright, and this guy here, we'll just put it 0. So, leaderboards. Let's see. That looks correct here, but this guy needs to be below 50. What? Very good. Alright, I need to go to my mission selection screen, CSS. Alright, so we go to our mission leaderboard screen. We're gonna add a new button. This is what the mission history screen. I'm just setting up the skeleton so we can get started on the whole mission system. We just need so many pieces to get on the screen. Alright. On history, click is not a function. Yeah. Mission history. There we go. So let's go to mission history. Mission history is supposed to go to nothing. So we can just, with the mission history screen, just make this pretty simple. Alright, so let's go to the pre-mission screen. Yeah, the input stuff was a real pain in the ass with all the input. Like, I've got lots of proxies, especially getting controller inputs and all sorts of shit in there. But that's not really too hard. I mean, it doesn't work out of the box, but nothing in game development works out of the box worth beans. So pre-mission screen. Alright, so we need the pre-mission screen button. Okay, so this thing is going to have to go into the in-game mission flow, which is going to go pre-mission cutscene. So we want to open up the cutscene screen from here. So, what does that look like? Is it just mission cutscene? Yeah, mission cutscene screen. Get child element by ID is not a function. Mission cutscene screen, alright. And what I'm doing there with the debug menu is I can save where in the screen stack I am. So I can just refresh the browser and it'll jump forward and remake all the screens that I was in. Alright, so he's over in Frankfurt. Alright. That fucking dumbass AWS console. Interesting. Active instances 5. Active instances 3. Man, they're gonna get slaughtered on cost for this shit. Let's see. Scaling. I want game host to scale for me. If the available game sessions are greater than. Scale down, scale up, blah blah blah. He's got all the rules set. Player sessions 5. Ah man, that's pretty rough. I need to check their matchmaking rules for some of these things. Let's see, matchmaking rule sets. Alright, active player count is probably what we really want for this. Let's see. Sorry, I'm getting distracted with some stuff. The guys from Gunpowder Games are launching their product today and want my opinions on things. Hmm. I'm trying to look at all these things that they got. Alright, so pub build QB. Destinations. Alright, so it's QB. Sorry, I can't show any of this on stream either. At least I shouldn't. So, because it's not my stuff. QB. Placement started. Use Central 1. Alright, so it doesn't show me the damned Arn. Alright, there it is. I gotta go click on it. Alright, so this is the spot thing is E3. Alright, so that is that, and this guy finally finding what I want. How in the fuck is this not even existing? What? Yeah, that sucks. They're just getting screwed on some things. Alright, so the mission cutscene screen needs to... We'll need to add a few buttons to this. Let's go back, start mission, mission cutscene. So let's go to the mission cutscene. So the mission cutscene can go to loading stage. Do we have a loading screen? I guess it's just going to be a loading thing. Maybe I should just do that, a mission loading screen. So let's go make that. So mission loading. Alright. Looks like we got that added. Okay, so we're actually going to go to lots of things. How many buttons do we need here? So this will be pre-stage, or I should say loading stage. The cutscene also needs to go to in stage. The cutscene also needs to go to post stage. Not postage, but post stage. Alright, and it also needs to go to post mission. Alright, let's see if I can actually fix some of this stuff here. I want to add a widget for a metric, for game lift, matchmaking. Let's look for players started. Alright, cool. So I think we got the numbers proper for this thing. Alright, so I got these buttons. I need to actually hook them up now. It is very difficult to try to multitask. And by try to multitask, I mean fail to multitask. But at least it's interesting. Let's get rid of these comments, they're worthless. Alright, we're on the mission cutscene. What the hell was I just editing? Mission loading screen? You know, the loading screen is supposed to... It's the wrong fucking thing. Interesting. What's interesting? Okay, so load stage should be... I guess the mission loading screen? And then this is going to be in stage. So I guess that's going to be in game. Alright, so post stage is just going to be the post stage screen. And then we got post mission, so that's just post mission screen. Alright. Interesting, yeah. I probably did say it that way. Alright. Alright, this is post-mission. Alright, so this is our cutscene, so loading stage. Took us to the mission loading screen, which has got nothing on it. Oh, that's not good. In stage took us to the right place at least. Post stage, and this is post mission. Post mission looks like it's screwed up. Yeah, this doesn't have a controller. Mission loading, in stage, post stage, and post mission. Okay. Not everyone checks pinned messages. Alright, well, I'm gonna be right back.